Happy whatever day it is that you're watching this, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackenzie. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. So today's video, we're going to be reviewing birch glass. So not only kind of as a whole, but most importantly, we're going to be focusing on one of their jigs. So as you can see, we're already on their website and they've got a whole ton of stuff to choose from. Stained glass jigs, molds, tutorials, patterns, glass art specifically by Birch Glass, pre-cut glass kits. They've got a ton, but like I said, today we're going to be mainly focusing on their stained glass jig and their 3D geo jig. So as you can see under this little jigs and mold tabs, we have two different options. We have the 3D geo jig and the 3D lily jig. So they were kind enough to reach out and send over the 3D geo jig. It is $72.70 in USD. So again, this is a 3D geo jig and it's got quite a few different uses and it's pretty versatile from what I can tell just looking at it off the bat. But let's read what it says directly from the website. It says, introducing the Birch Glass 3D geo jig. The geo jig is truly a game-changing all-in-one tool which transforms the creation of 3D projects into seamless and, more importantly, fun experiences. Featuring 6 angles, sliding braces, stainless steel rod, and clips, this jig takes the guesswork out of achieving precision in your 3D projects. We're passionate about crafting 3D pieces, and that passion led us to create this jig, your shortcut to a smoother, quicker, and more satisfying creative process. And right at the bottom here, you can see in big bold letters that says select 2 tutorials to receive for free when you purchase a jig. So anytime you purchase a jig, they're going to give you 2 tutorials completely free, which is awesome. And then when you scroll down just a little bit more, it says take a sneak peek at how it works and the exciting projects you can bring to life with the help of the jig. And they have their own YouTube videos on kind of how they use the jig themselves. It says explore a variety of angles, including 90 degrees as well as 60, 72, 108, 120, and 135. It also says create 5 and 6 sided designs, joining in the center, resize the jig in seconds, ensuring a perfect fit for every project. We've even included the handy stainless steel clips for securing your glass pieces in place as you work your soldering magic. Then scrolling down a little bit further under what you'll receive, it says the GeoJig tool made of PETG. This includes the 2 sliding braces and 4 stoppers for the ends. Please note this jig should be used for tack soldering only. 1 stainless steel 3mm rod, very helpful for the 90-degree angle. 2 stainless steel clips to hold the glass in place, also extremely helpful when working with larger projects. A detailed GeoJig manual to explain how it works and how best to use it. It says please note that we are based in England, UK. Our jigs are manufactured and shipped by us here. So, like I mentioned earlier in this video, we are focusing on the jig at least for the next couple videos. So there is a lot to kind of go over, and this jig kind of offers so many different things. And this website is new to me, so I want to explore everything that they have to offer, including their patterns, not just their jigs. So we are absolutely going to come back to their patterns. We are going to use and purchase some of those in the future, try those out so we can make some stuff together. But for the next couple videos, we are just really going to be kind of going over this jig and then putting it to the test, and then we're going to kind of go into what they offer for free patterns and everything else. So now that we've got the boring stuff out of the way, let's go into actually opening up this jig and see what this thing looks like. Oh, and I just want to remind you guys one more time that they did reach out to me. They did send this to me, like I said, but they did not pay me. They're not sponsoring this video. They are not paying me to make this video, but they did send me this product for free. Okay guys, let's get to the fun part, and that's actually opening up this box and seeing what's inside. I have not peeked as usual. I want you guys to get my true first impression, so this thing is still sealed. So like I said, this has come all the way from the UK. I'm super excited to see what it actually looks like in person, so let's crack it open. All right, so at first I didn't know if I wanted to read this to you because sometimes there'll be like personal notes inside here and stuff, but I think they'll be okay with me reading this. This is our first physical product outside of our glass art, and it's been such an exciting adventure. We really wanted to create something that's genuinely useful for our fellow artists, and we are so proud of the design. It's simple, but in our opinion, it's extremely effective. All of the 3D pieces on our tutorials page were created using the jig, except Orchid and Prop Station, and I always love using it. So I hope you have the same experience. And she included a pen for me, something that her husband does with woodworking. Also made this jig for me specifically in black. So I did want to read that to you guys just so you are aware that the default color of this jig is gray. So you can see right here, this light gray color is the default color of the jig. They have been so kind throughout this whole thing. There was no pressure on a time frame, which I absolutely appreciate, because when I did end up getting it, it was right before the craze kind of started with Start on the Street and Halloween. Okay guys, so I'm editing this video, it's almost done, but me just saying start on the street reminded me of a couple things. One, I did film Start on the Street this year. It is the last ever Start on the Street, which is crazy, but I did film it. I will have that video edited and uploaded soon, but it also reminded me to tell you guys about my Patreon. So I did just start a Patreon. If you're unfamiliar with what Patreon is, essentially it's just another platform, but it is a paid for platform that a lot of creators will use to kind of help make content creation financially possible, since it is quite difficult. So over on my Patreon, it's just going to be a place where we can connect a lot easier, we can connect more, and you guys will be able to see a lot more of me, my life behind the scenes. Exclusive content is going to be over there. You guys are going to have early access to some content, and it's just going to be more of my everyday life. So definitely a lot more behind the scenes, more of me in general, all types of content. So if you are interested in that, I will have my Patreon link down below. Go check it out. Okay, back to the video. So I am just now, months later, getting to open this, and like I said, they've been super kind along the way. I'm super excited. Let's see what this looks like. I'll go over all of the kind of manual and instructions, and excuse my voice, I'm definitely coming down with a bit of a cold. I'm excited to see it. It's just a color, but to somebody like me, this makes such a difference. Now I can have this thing sitting out on my desk or sitting out on my workstation, and it won't bother me because it's a different color, which I will say, Amy, just by the way, secondary color is going to be gray for sure. I would have absolutely been okay with gray. I was so happy to try this out, and I am still so excited to try it out. So like I said, I've kind of gone over the directions and the user manuals just a little bit, and I've looked at their website just a little bit because I want you guys to still get my first impressions of building this thing, putting it together, and really kind of figuring it out together. So I didn't go too in depth, but I did kind of give an overview. That way I wasn't completely lost as we're going into this together. This is going to be the pen. Oh, yes it is. Wow. Amy, are you saying your husband made this? Is that what you mean? Oh my gosh. Wow. What is with the lighting, you guys? Sorry. Okay, sorry guys. I had to move some things around because the lighting is feeling a little bit off, at least from what I can tell in my viewfinder. This is so freaking pretty. But this video is not about the pen. As much as I freaking love it, I could talk about this forever. You guys know I can talk about anything forever that I like. Now, let's get into the details on this thing. I'm pulling out all the pieces, so it looks like we've got banded together the actual jig itself and maybe a couple of clips to kind of hold things. Then we do have actual clips, which I believe are what hold our pieces of glass in place onto the jig while we are tack soldering. Just to be clear, this jig is only for tack soldering. Then we've got this metal rod right here, and that is the last thing in the box. I suppose let's go over the actual introduction of the jig itself. So it says, thank you for choosing the Birch Glass Geo Jig to elevate your experience in crafting 3D stained glass. We're excited to join you on this journey and introduce you to a tool designed for both precision and ease. The Geo Jig is more than just a tool. It's your all-in-one gateway to exploring a world of possibilities in stained glass art. Craft intricate 3D designs, experiment with different angles, and bring your imagination to life with the precision and ease that the jig provides, which I love. I think the versatility of having a jig like this is priceless, because having a million different jigs for a million different pieces is just a pain in the bum. So if we can really adjust this thing to kind of make whatever we want for any project, that's going to be really cool. What's included? So we've got our double-sided Geo Jig tool made of durable PETG material featuring 2 sliding braces and 4 stoppers for the brace ends. Then it says a stainless steel 3mm rod, a valuable asset for achieving the perfect 90-degree angle in your creations. And then it says assembling the jig is over on the right side here. So it says, first thing, insert the brace bars into the gaps on each end of the 2 main sections of the jig. The orientation doesn't matter. And those are for your degreed angles. You got 60, 90, 135, 120, 108, and 72. This is freaking genius, you guys. This was so smart, Amy. What a good freaking call. Okay, I think this is it, but I want the birch glass to be facing out. So I've got 135, 60, 90, so everything else is going to match up. Pretty simple. It just slid right through the ends on the ends of your kind of main braces here. You just have those holes. These are going to be our stoppers, and this is going to prevent the jig from kind of falling apart. But the good thing about this, if you want to just quickly take it apart and tuck it away in your desk, it is absolutely small enough to do that. So you can literally easily slide them together like this and store it somewhere, or just pop the ends off. Since this is all 3D printed, you can literally just easily pop those ends off and you can store that in your desk. That's amazing. I love that aspect of this. Because if you guys are stained glass artists too, then you know stained glass takes over your entire life and we have so many tools, whether it's for fun or necessity. So being able to break this thing down into an extremely reasonable size to store it away when I'm not using it is fantastic. So if you're working on a project with a 90-degree angle, position the 3mm stainless rod across the jig parallel to the braces. Place your glass on top of this rod. The clips are designed to secure your glass onto the jig, preventing any movement while you're soldering. All right, I just grabbed some scrap glass, but we talk about this all the time, you guys. We never solder pieces of glass flat edge to flat edge, right? So say we're meeting two corners together, we're never gonna go flat edge up against another flat edge of glass. So they literally include a rod to absolutely ensure that you're gonna have the perfect placement. So I'm gonna sit it right on top of that rod here. Let me get a second camera angle so you guys can see exactly what I'm saying. You can see it gives you the perfect angle. So it ensures every single time you're soldering something together, you're never going to accidentally go flat side to flat side. You are always going to be soldering correctly. I would agree with that statement already that it seems like such a simple jig, but it's super versatile and it's super helpful. I haven't even used this thing yet, but it's pretty easy to tell how it works. It is very adjustable. I love everything about it. I love that it's 3D printed. I love that it comes with this rod to ensure that you, as the consumer, are going to make your pieces correctly. That's huge. You've got a ton of angles to choose from. They gave you clips as well to hold your glass in place. I am quite confident in this piece. I'm really excited to try it. You guys have been so kind. Thank you so much for sending this over. I'm super excited. I can't wait to putting this thing to the actual test. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. We have got a lot of work to do, but I think we've gone over the basics. I thought getting at least this video done first was important, going over kind of all of the not so fun stuff before we get to the fun stuff instead of overwhelming you guys with another 30-minute video, which you guys know I can easily do. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much again to Amy and James. I can't wait to see what I can make with this thing. Again, you guys, I'm gonna have them linked down below. I will have their website, their Instagram, their YouTube, everything. I'll have it all linked in my description, so please go check them out. If you wanna make the marquee spinner with me, I will also have that specifically linked down below as well. So go grab that if you wanna make it with me during my next video. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you did, comment down below and let me know what do you wanna see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.